Hello everyone and welcome back to PLC Programming from Scratch. This is section 3 and we're going to be discussing I/O, which means inputs and outputs. When you think about the word PLC, which means Programmable Logic Controller, the name itself implies that we're going to be controlling something. The signals that our PLC sends out to control devices such as pumps and motors and valves are called outputs. The signals coming into our PLC, which tell it what's happening in the process around it, are called inputs. And one of the first things that a programmer needs to understand when they're first learning about PLCs is I/O. How do I get information into my PLC, and how do I control things around me? Without I/O, if we had an isolated PLC, it really wouldn't serve any purpose that a computer couldn't serve, and probably much better. So, by necessity, if we're using a PLC, there's got to be some signals coming in and or some signals going out. When you look at I/O, generally speaking, you can break it down into two categories. There are discrete, also known as digital signals, and then there are analog signals. And in the next lecture, we're going to be getting into what the different types of I/O are, how do we categorize them, how do we process them, and why we need the different types of I/O. In the next section, we'll get a lot deeper into digital inputs and outputs and analog inputs and outputs. And further into the course, we'll learn the various considerations to take when programming and handling those different signals.